What's up, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Beers And. Today, we're going to be talking about beers and volunteer vittles.
Oh, damn it. We were doing so good for so long. That's all right.
I forgot halfway through.
You know
honestly.
what? I got up to the volunteer part, and I wasn't sure if we were just going to go volunteer state vittles or volunteer vittles.
Very nice. Well done. Welcome back. My name's Alex, and as always, joined by this lovely gentleman to my right.
Hello, I'm Nick.
That's Nick. What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to Beers And. Today we're doing food.
We're doing food, our first food one, which in retrospect, or not even retrospect, I'm thinking it's a bold move to make when
It's taken us a long time.
Yeah, but we don't have, at least as far as I know, we don't have any of the foods we're actually discussing, so.
No, that's a shame, too.
Yeah, it is.
We're also drinking beer today.
As always.
Yep, and we're going to be having, ta-da, All Cashmere Everything from Other Half.
Love it. Love cashmere.
Yeah, really excited about the cashmere. Going to turn this over for a couple minutes. I'm really excited.
I am very excited,
If you're watching on YouTube, good for you.
Yeah.
You get to look at us, our mugs for the next hour or so.
God bless.
And if you're not, we'll give you a couple seconds to go switch over. So,
unless you're driving, in which case,
do not.
eyes on the road, 10 and 2,
always.
or 9 and 3, depending upon your age.
10 and 2.
Yeah.
I think. But anyway, on Twitter, it would be Beers And 1. I didn't even say anything about Twitter.
No, you
But
didn't.
more importantly, YouTube, Beers And Podcast.
Yep. Or Instagram at Beers and Podcast.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Come follow us over there. Find all the new stuff.
All the new stuff. We've got some great things we're brewing up.
Ooh, brewing up wonderful things over at the Instagram.
Wonderful things. For those folks that are so far also thinking, have I had an aneurysm? Why does it seem like so much information is being thrown at me? Don't worry. But to clarify, if anything, volunteer state vittles means...
Be quiet over here.
Be quiet. Hush your mouth. Means we're talking about food from the volunteer state, which, as everybody knows... Tennessee.
Hey-yo. Let's do it.
Yeah. How did this come about, by the way? This was you had thrown this one
I
out.
freaking love hot chicken.
Yeah, and I felt... I was like poultry shamed by you because I was like, I'm sorry, I don't know what hot chicken is.
In your defense, I did typo at first.
Did you?
It came through Hit Chicken.
Oh, I don't know.
Nashville Hit Chicken.
I think I still read it as hot chicken, and I was like,
okay.
I'm sorry. I was like, I don't know what hot chicken is. All caps. You don't know what hot chicken is?
How do you not know what hot chicken is?
I was like, no. And then you told me to Google it, and I was this close as a good friend to be like, go fuck yourself. Don't tell me to go Google
because
something.
I can't describe it any better than Google can. Trust me. And Google did a good job when I was looking into it.
Google did do a good job.
Did a good job. Why don't we do question of the day?
Yeah, lay it on me. What do you got?
You've been to Tennessee, correct?
Yes, so I've been told.
Okay, well, I'm almost afraid to ask the second part of my question because what it was sell me on it because I've never been. So, like, why would I go to Tennessee?
Tennessee's a split state in that...
Politically?
No, not necessarily, but in terms of, like, overall culture. So meaning that when you're in Memphis, Memphis is described or known as the capital of the mid-deep South. So Memphis is a lot of blues, a lot of rock and roll.
Right.
It's a very... It's hot, steamy Mississippi Delta type feel. It's very slow. The food in Memphis is unfathomable. It is unbelievably good.
Love hearing that.
Beale Street is iconic.
Almost as much so as Bourbon Street.
Almost as much so, exactly. And if you haven't gone and listened to our Beers and Bourbon, go on back to our 30th episode and check that out. Memphis,
We'll pause.
We'll wait. If you're going to go to Memphis, I highly recommend. We had gone there, I guess at this point it was roughly just shy of about 10 years ago, I'm going to say. It was either in 2013. And I'll never forget, it was actually just about this time of year, and we were sitting around at my parents' house, and we had said, I'm a big, 4th of July is...
Definitely.
I friggin' love it. I love the excuse to be a big, fat, obnoxious American. Like, it's our one day.
Don't we all?
I mean, some folks think it's every day. But, so I had said, I was like, what is one of the most American things to do for 4th of July? And I was like, fireworks on the Mississippi. Like, Is there anything better than that?
That's a darn good one.
That's what we did.
That's cool.
Had an absolute blast in Memphis. Then we went to Nashville, and Nashville, for us, you've never been?
No.
Okay. Nashville is described as a drinking town with a music problem.
I love that.
Which is, again, phenomenal, but a complete, I would say, in my opinion, 180. It is all country all the time.
So I've heard.
Honky tonk and, oh, man. I'm surprised if I'd ever be allowed back there. You know my story, don't you?
Vaguely, yes.
We were at a bar. I believe we were at a place called either Big Shots or Moonshiners, one or the other. And there's a gentleman up on stage doing a ditty, and I am what's the term? Half in the bag. And he
3 sheets to the wind.
3 sheets, and he yelled out to the audience. He was like, "Anybody got a request?" I'm yelling, "Sing the one about when my baby left me. Sing the one about my Chevy. Who won the war?" And they're going, "You need to shut up. You're going to get us killed if you keep running your mouth like that." It's like, I don't understand. We won the war. What's the big deal? It was us.
Who was the voice of reason?
Oh, well, it was myself, Danny, Christine, and Murph. So really there was not. There were fleeting moments of...
That's what I was wondering.
Yeah, there wasn't. It was the blind leading the blind, leading the blind, leading the blind.
Good times.
Yeah. Still, beautiful state. And if you ever get the chance, I highly recommend, and always make sure that you stop off at Graceland and you understand why the man was the king.
I love that. Have you smelt this yet?
I honestly haven't. I got so distracted in my own narcissism.
I don't think singularly we've had cashmere hops on this show.
There still is a very nice floral, citric kind of smell to it. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Cheers. Let's go.
This is one of my favorites.
Ooh, that is a lovely, lovely. It's very calming. I can see.
Yep. Candied lemon.
Okay.
Like lemon slices.
Yeah. That's why it's not terribly sour.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's got a nice like sweetness to kind of carry it through.
Yeah.
It's very light. That's one of my favorite hops.
This is a beautiful beer for a Delta Day.
Yeah, definitely.
It's very refreshing. It's crisp. It's clean. It's not terribly complex, I don't think. At least for myself.
No, it's pretty straightforward.
Yeah.
I'm going to read the... go ahead.
I was going to say, it's very straightforward. There's not a lot of complexity in a different sort of way that I think King Julius was, where King Julius, as you know, was not the most pleasant of experiences.
The guava one, right?
Yeah, where it was very straightforward. There wasn't a lot of complexity to it, but it had a much... that a very much different...
Very bitter.
Yeah, very bitter.
Very
Did not
bitter.
enjoy that one at all.
So this... I didn't want to read this before we tasted it because I didn't want to influence our taste on the notes. You know, like what it says here.
Yeah, please.
So on the Untapped, app, brewed with one of the coolest new hops being grown, Cashmere.
Cashmere.
Lots of fruity pebbles characteristics with this hop, which I would say sure.
Yeah.
A juicy, fruity, and fun hop. The DDH version comes with the inclusion of Cashmere cryo hop pellets.
Yeah.
And this is the DDH version.
But you know what? I think even and I can't tell you the last time, honestly, that I've had Fruity Pebbles, and I definitely never had it on the regular.
Right. I did.
Oh, no. Hashtag.
Love that stuff.
Hashtag Rena.
Hashtag no sugary cereals.
No sugary cereals. I don't find it to be, again, overly sweet. I don't have a very sweet tooth unless it's for like chocolate or anything. I'm not a big candies guy to begin with. But this to me is just that right amount, and I think it's because it's candied lemon.
Yeah.
If it was candied peach, I would think it's going to be too sweet. This is a delightful beer.
Really smooth.
What is the ABV on this?
8.5.
No. Get the hell out of here.
Yeah.
Oh.
I know it drinks like at 6 or maybe even like a little bit more, but
very, very nice on a good sunny day. Not terribly. It's not a hot day beer. It's a good, for me, 70.
Okay, I'm
good
into it.
Spring beer.
That's another New Zealand hop.
Is it really?
Cashmere, yeah.
I am a big fan.
South of the equator, they kill it.
They do
in the hop game. They really do.
Look at that! Way to go, you Kiwis! You.
I'm super into this flavor.
What are you gonna throw on it? I feel like I usually throw
high.
my number out first. So yeah, I'm kind of curious.
I'm gonna be high, but I'm gonna tease with an overthought.
Okay.
Okay.
You cheeky son of a bitch.
This is a quick one, and it's just like this is an introspective question I have for myself a lot.
Okay.
Because when you write checks, when you write a check and you write out the dollar amount in cursive, is it all one word? 1,397. Is it all one word and no line breaks with the cursive?
So I will be very honest with you. I do not write the number in cursive.
Oh, okay.
However, I do separate the words, or I'll put them
Sure. Well, in print, you're supposed to.
right, but I'll capitalize
Okay.
so I'll put
I see what you're
1,000, and then the 3 will be a capital T.
Sure.
The next number will be then capital. Yeah,
I feel like in cursive, it's supposed to be all one word, one fluid motion.
Oh, I don't know.
That's what I'm saying.
I don't know. I write one check per month. So I mean,
okay.
Do you write checks out often?
Yeah, I do.
Really?
Yeah,
For
and,
is it like
once
for work?
at least every 2 weeks once. Oh yeah, and sometimes at work for the guys. Yeah.
Can I ask what are you writing checks for otherwise?
I pay some of my bills via check.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh,
Actually,
okay.
believe it or not, and on the inverse side of this, we once paid a bill with a check and were charged more
Oh,
for paying with a check.
really?
Yes.
Because what they have to process it or something?
I guess so.
Oh, that's bullshit.
Yeah, usually it's the other way around.
No, yeah. I was gonna say yeah, because I do all
Super
of my banking online, so I don't. The only thing I have to do is for rent, which I love.
Yeah.
So
Super stupid.
I love a good check though. I like writing the check. I like receiving the check.
That's the better part.
Yes, absolutely.
With
Absolutely.
that, 100%.
Yeah. Huh.
I'm my checks are Superman checks.
I recently upgraded to big boy checks.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, because I realized after a while that I think so for one thing, the checks I had been using had, my parents' address on them, and I was like, you are
It's time.
I was like, you're a 30-year-old man. You should not be having this. And then I want to say that just based on what the options that were available at the time, and I don't even fucking like Corvettes, but it was all classic Corvettes.
That's a good one.
But there was something about it all of a sudden where I was like, oh, I can't take myself seriously as I write this check.
Feels like a guidance counselor's calendar.
Yeah, very,
That's what that
very,
feels like.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh no, so I've upgraded now to I'm very classic, just green background, little gold border.
Oh, you have very simple.
Oh yes, I've gone for timeless is the phrase I like to use.
Oh.
Elegant, timeless, sophisticated.
All about those adjectives.
Adjectives, yeah, and
All
all
about
of which aptly fit who I am and the lifestyle I lead.
I would say yes. Okay, my rating 4.4.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah, I'm really high on this one. I'm really high on this note, this candied lemon, super clean citrus.
I feel like
I'm really high on that.
We've had more than enough double dry hopped IPAs. I'll be honest with you, I'm even gonna go. I think maybe a little bit higher.
Wow, really?
Yeah, dude. This is a very I feel
This
like
is a great hop.
I feel like I'm playing it down because I don't want to seem like a zealot.
Okay.
But it's such a clean, pleasant, bright beer that still has the sophistication and the elegance of one of my checks. So I'm going to give it a 4.6.
Wow.
It is a delicious, I like it. I like a good standard beer.
This is damn good.
This is one of those, I think the equivalent to, I'm a big, I love my espresso. I do enjoy coffee. I don't like a lot of flavored coffees because I think they wind up cheapening them. But if you can make a good, solid, Arabica cup of coffee that's well curated.
The Arabica beans.
And yeah, but you're going to charge me, I don't know, $15 for a bag of this stuff. If it tastes that good, I'll pay for it.
Definitely.
And that's what this is. This is a good, clean, almost neutral beer that is worth the price point.
Love it.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to end on this note because in the same vein as Cashmere, there's one other hop from New Zealand that I hold in higher regard than this,
Oh, yeah?
and it's Rawaka.
Ruwaka?
Yes,
That's my New
it's from
Zealand.
the land down under.
Down under. Well,
That's pretty
well,
good.
a little bit above down under.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just slightly.
Just a little bit. Yeah.
That's the one word I can say with that accent and make it sound okay.
Which one?
Slightly.
Slightly? And it's very tight. The New Zealand.
Yeah, I
very
noticed
tight.
you're doing that.
Yeah.
And I've never seen.
Yeah,
I mean, I
they're-
guess I never paid that much attention.
Yeah, they're super. Yeah, because like Australian's wide
Yes,
and New Zealand's kind of tight.
my slightly was more Australian.
that
than
was
it
very nice.
Than it was New Zealand.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, so for all of our fans
One word.
listening in down under,
Everyone gets
and,
one.
and slightly above down under, and you've got an issue with our accents.
Yeah, I mean, great beer.
Take it up with yourself.
I'm teasing it though because we're gonna get Rawaka everything eventually.
I love the
when they
name
make it.
Rawaka too.
It's great.
Yeah.
All the New Zealand hops, Cashmere, Rawaka, Matuka, Wai'i, Wakatu. There's more.
This sounds like Lionel Richie's like dancing on the ceiling or all night long. Hey, jumbo jumbo. All night long.
Let's get into-
Rawaka, Tahaka.
Maybe those were.
Maybe. I hope so.
You know, the lyrics are wrong this entire time. That's all I'm gonna say.
You can kick things off, but I will preface by saying
I would
that
love to.
I didn't do a goddamn thing on Memphis BBQ. So
That's okay. Oh, me neither though. Damn, I should have. That's okay. I could speak on my experience eating Memphis barbecue.
Okay.
How's that?
Sure.
I went with a personal favorite of mine, a second personal favorite of mine because I already talked about it. Fried hot chicken.
Oh, yes.
I'm gonna go into that later.
Okay.
Country ham.
I didn't know that this was a Tennessee staple, if you will.
So it's an adaptation of other styles of this ham,
Yeah.
but like country spiral ham is native to Tennessee. So just want to say, at this point, my mom, good old Barbie, loves to get this for holidays for me because she knows I'm like sick of the turkey
Oh, yeah.
and the roast like rigmarole of the holidays. I'm
Yeah.
over it. So country ham every holiday.
Okay.
Well, not every holiday, but Christmas, specifically Christmas.
I love a good country ham.
love it. And I
Yeah.
think we had like a pineapple jalapeno glaze this year. Oh, yeah.
Ooh.
So anyway, Bentons Smoky Mountain Ham was discovered by this guy very recently, actually, in 2004. This guy's name is Tom Colicchio or Colicchio.
Mm-hmm.
And when Christina like was looking over my shoulder when I was writing these notes, and she was like, "Oh, he was on Top Chef."
Oh.
So like, this guy is apparently very well known in the food world.
Okay.
So after visiting Blackberry Farm in Wallen, Tennessee, in nearby Madisonville, he discovers this Benton's Smoky Mountain Ham. And again, this is 2004, so
Yeah.
fairly recently. I didn't realize like it's that new.
I don't think so. What makes, and I'm sure you're going to get into it,
Yep.
so I apologize.
So
but yeah.
so Benton's Smoky Mountain Ham is cured with salt and brown sugar for 9 to 10 months, sometimes over a year. But that's what gives it its signature flavor. There's nitrites in there. All right, they're bad for you, but hey, everything in moderation.
Everything in moderation.
So when Tom Colicchio brought this back to New York, where he's from, New York native, it was a hit. Like so much so that this guy by the name of David Chang, do you know that name?
Is that, no, the first thing I thought of was like P.F. Chang.
No, he's a very famous restaurateur though.
Okay.
He put it immediately on his menu at a very trendy new restaurant that he runs called Momofuku.
Oh.
Have you heard that?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. So
yeah.
so that was on the menu in 2005 or 2004.
Really?
Yeah, and then Momofuku, by the way, now is not only just like a restaurant empire.
Oh, no,
but
yeah.
they're like procurement. Like they do a lot of like shipping nationwide and all that stuff, all sorts of stuff.
I wouldn't have known that. And again, I think that's just because, I don't know about you, but we're spoiled. It's right in the city.
It's true.
Pretty sure that I've eaten there.
I've never been there.
Yeah, I want to say that I have.
Okay.
Yeah.
It sounds like a Japanese place.
I believe that it is.
And country ham was on there? I would love to know what that dish was.
Yeah.
I would love to know.
I'm so, like, this is kind of throwing me for a loop because I feel like I've had country ham, but maybe I haven't, or
so
I've
like
always had,
I guess spiral ham and country ham are
or
different.
different, I guess.
Yeah. So
yeah.
country ham, I feel like it's more of like a breakfast thing. That's where I've seen
Okay.
it the most.
Yeah.
You had like those big ham steaks.
Yeah. Huh. That's fascinating because, Yeah, I thought that I had always kind of had it before.
I admittedly did a little digging into like the history of country ham, and it goes all the way back to the Italians and the Spaniards with Iberico and prosciutto di Parma.
Oh.
So like that, that's like the old, not the old school, but like a version of it.
Huh.
So it's adapted from that since then and has made its way to this.
Interesting. Huh. Funny, I was actually at a restaurant yesterday. I was just telling you with my sister. And I didn't point it out to her because I wanted to like keep myself calm. But they had a drier fridge. So we walked in and it essentially looked like a refrigerator.
Oh, like a
glass,
where they dry age things in.
Oh my God.
Oh, cool.
And there were these humongous ham hocks and prosciutto and guanciale and I was like,
you know what's funny? I had a Iberico yesterday.
Oh, did you?
I had a Iberico steak.
Oh,
it was fancy.
Oh,
at a very fancy place.
We all ate very fancy.
We
yesterday.
did. We saw Gastropub in like the moniker of the name.
Yeah.
We were like, yep.
I loved it because I ordered. We were at a seafood place and I ordered the branzino and the guy was,
okay.
I fucking love branzino, and he was like, whole or fillet, and I was like, I'll have the whole. He was like, it's got bones in it, just so you know. I was like, that's perfectly fine.
It's where all the flavor is.
That's what I want. Nick goes to me. He probably told you because you look like the type of person that would choke and then sue. It's like, okay, thank you.
Well played.
Appreciate you. So naturally, so while I didn't do anything necessarily on Memphis barbecue,
I'm surprised.
I think because I just put my foot down. I don't know why. I was so like resistant about it because you're like, I'll leave you barbecue. I was like, oh, thanks.
He was like, it's the worst one. I was like, it's not the worst.
It's not the worst. I just thought like
the best.
Yeah, I thought for the show I was like, that seems so blasé.
I'm interested to see what you got.
So what I do have though is something that still does pertain to barbecue, and it is barbecue spaghetti. It is.
You got my attention.
It is traditionally made with shredded smoked pork or pulled pork, vegetables, and barbecue sauce. Ooh. All right. It is described by Southern Living as, quote, perhaps the city's, meaning Memphis, the city's most unusual creation, and HuffPo refers to it as a, quote unquote, Memphis staple. All right. So the sauce itself, and this is where like, which kind of skeeves me out. So the sauce itself is half barbecue sauce, half marinara sauce.
Oh.
And then onions and peppers are added into it, and it's simmered to then thicken to kind of get that barbecue sauce kind of consistency. And then the pork is thrown back in.
Interesting.
So it was invented actually by a guy named Brady Vincent. He was a former railroad cook who opened a restaurant called Brady and Lil's. And then he subsequently had taught the recipe to, he taught the recipe, and I put recipe in quotes, to a guy by the name of Jim Neely, who opened up a place called Interstate BBQ. And he adjusted the recipe just a little bit by adding the, quote, extra back flap of meat. Yeah,
nice.
Which is
well worded.
Oh God, which is from the rack, from the rack of ribs, or from a rack of ribs.
Oh, so like the fat cap.
Correct.
The way that's worded, though,
and again, I had to make sure that I highlighted the fact that is how it is quoted. The extra back flap. I was like, oh God, that sounds disgusting.
Yeah, it does.
That's Buffalo Bill type shit right there. So yeah, it's popular throughout Memphis. Sometimes it's served as a main dish, or sometimes at least as a side dish. And interestingly enough, that second place I'd mentioned, that Interstate BBQ. So this guy Neely, when he had opened up the place in, I believe it was 1978, he was not a restaurateur, did not have a background in this. And at this point in time, the restaurant is now rated as the number 2 place to get barbecue in the United States by People Magazine.
Oh, shoot.
So it's not like we're number
People's Choice.
Yeah, nothing. Like,
wow.
People's Magazine rates it number 2.
That's pretty incredible.
There's apparently also a restaurant in Connecticut that sells this type of barbecue spaghetti.
So the only thing I could think of, because you said, marinara and barbecue sauce together.
Yeah.
Sometimes I've had, or maybe I haven't had, barbecue chicken pizza with like red sauce and barbecue sauce drizzle, or is it always just a barbecue sauce base?
To be honest with you, I feel like it's always been, and I've had it very sparingly because I don't usually like it.
Sauce?
I think it's always been
maybe you're
just
right.
barbecue sauce. I
That
could be
is
mistaken.
very strange.
Yeah.
Like, okay, barbecue sauce and pizza sauce is one thing, but barbecue sauce and marinara makes it kind of...
So I'm speculating here that when they say barbecue sauce, I'm assuming here that they are meaning a much more traditional homemade
ketchup,
style.
brown sugar.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's kind of what I figured.
Because I don't know why is that I kept going in my mind to like a Sweet Baby Ray's and like that already kind of thick consistency.
But it is Memphis style though. Like Memphis
Correct.
barbecue has a very specific, I think it is.
It's more watery. I believe it's vinegar based.
I thought that was Carolina. There's a lot of barbecue.
There's a lot of barbecue sauces. Maybe I am mistaken.
I could be mistaken, but I thought Memphis was known for smoky and sweet barbecue.
I thought that, yeah, but I don't know if that translates then to the
sauce?
barbecue sauce
I don't
as
know.
well.
I'm curious.
Oh God,
Now
now
I
I
gotta
look
know.
like a real fucking idiot for not having done actually formal.
No. What you didn't
Memphis
expect me to
barbecue.
add. You just didn't know you were going to ask the wrong person.
Listen, let me tell you. By the way, and we skipped over them, so I'll save them for our next episode. I've got a bunch of party fouls.
Oh, cool.
To run through. So
I love
we'll
that.
save them for later. So stay tuned for me making up for some mistakes.
Yeah, stay tuned for us accounting for ourselves. I'm gonna get into hot chicken.
Yeah, please do.
I was gonna save it for last. But,
God.
I want to talk about it. We need to talk about it.
It's just clicking in my mind now that maybe about 2 or 3 days, no, on Thursday, it's about 4 days ago, out of nowhere, I got a hankering for like a really nice, crispy, panko crusted chicken that I made at home. And I'm guaranteeing now in my mind that it's because you put it in my head.
I probably did.
Yeah.
Inception.
Oh, shit.
Yep. You're welcome.
That's really sad that 96 hours later I'm picking up on
I'm
it.
having I'm having chicken Milanese tomorrow.
Ooh,
Yeah.
look at you.
Gonna make that.
Nicely done.
Thank you. So Nashville Hot Chicken. It's pretty much at this point, like anything could be called hot chicken if it's spicy fried chicken, essentially. But like hot chicken is a very specific style. So it's one of my personal favorites. Typically, it's served on a piece of white bread, just plain white bread with pickle chips, to kind of like counterbalance the heat, with the bread.
Yeah.
A little bit of vinegar from the pickles. Okay. When I go for it, I usually want a sandwich.
Yeah.
I'm a big hot chicken sandwich guy. Usually comes like a slaw,
Ooh,
like a nice vinegary or like a little bit light mayo slaw, some sort of sauce.
Yeah.
Or if not, just the hot chicken sauce, pickles. I mean, brioche roll.
Yeah, well, I mean,
we want that.
brioche roll automatically makes everything just a little bit fancier.
Exactly.
It's a French roll.
With a lot of butter.
With a lot of butter.
A ton of butter.
Which is je ne sais quoi, fine by me.
We French.
Oui, très French.
Oh, thank you. That's what it is. Yes.
Yes, French.
Yes, French. Okay. So I didn't know, but it's been around a lot longer than I had originally anticipated.
Oh, really?
It's been around for almost 100 years. It came around in the Nashville African-American community in roughly the 1930s. The story is fantastic.
I'm sorry. I'm also having like a hard time wrapping my brain around the idea that the 1930s was about 100 years ago. Because
Yeah,
when you
it's
said
sad
100
too.
years ago, I was like, oh, like turn of the century.
Nope.
Oh, God.
Yep. Sad, right?
I say that as if we were born in 1934.
Well, it might as well have been at this point. So though there are many variations, like regionally and from chef to chef, it changes a lot. Minor alterations, whatever. But there's a generally accepted recipe as far as the paste or the spice that goes into the chicken. And it's got two main ingredients, lard and cayenne pepper. Lard and cayenne pepper, 3 parts pepper to 1 part lard.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So it's very heavy on the cayenne.
It's pretty heavy on the lard, too.
Yeah, so what they do is they throw it all in a pan together and let it melt down so that it turns into that oily consistency, and that's what coats the chicken.
I didn't know that.
So it gives an opportunity for the spices to bloom in the oil and to give it a little more complex flavor. And then it gets dumped, or like the chicken gets dunked in the sauce.
Oh.
Yeah.
Huh.
So
I didn't know that.
That is Nashville hot chicken, like in a nutshell. Okay. It's generally accepted that Andre Prince Jeffries, this is a she, owner of Prince's Hot Chicken Shack, and her family are the origin of Nashville Hot Chicken. This goes all the way back to her great uncle, Thornton Prince III.
Yes.
Love that name. Actually, the recipe was an accident. Thornton was known to be a womanizer. So he was out late one night, had a few too many drinks. He came home, and his girlfriend at the time made him like a fried chicken breakfast. But she intentionally put more cayenne pepper in there than she was supposed to because she wanted to like get back at him for being an asshole. He turned out to love it.
Oh, shit.
And then not even a year later, he and his brothers invented their own recipe and then opened up the Barbecue Chicken Shack Cafe.
Trifling woman try to get me.
And that's how hot chicken came about.
That's awesome. I didn't realize that was
Very storied.
Yeah, and again, the process to make it, I didn't realize was
Hot
different.
oil,
because,
baby.
And that's the whole thing. Because when you had even suggested it again to begin with, I kind of just assumed, I was like, it's battered chicken
Spicy
or
chicken,
it's fried chicken that's got some spice exactly in it. I didn't realize that it had that process in there. And I'm a big fan, I'll say it right now, of cooking with lard.
I've never done it.
I've got 2 containers in the
Do you?
fridge. Oh yeah, Crisco. That's
Oh, yeah.
what Crisco is.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah. If it calls for lard, don't substitute it, please. Just saying that.
That's fair. But yeah, that's a phenomenal dish.
And just to note, Thornton, I don't think that your girlfriend was trifling by any means. I just want to specify.
She just wanted to hurt you.
She just wanted to hurt you.
That's it.
And who could blame you? You
Womanizer.
You cheating some bitch. So we've been going spicy. We went a little barbecue. I've got 2 things here real quick that are a little bit more on the sweeter side. Are you familiar with the stack cake?
Actually, I am.
You are?
Yes.
Did you look up a little bit about the stack cake?
I looked up a little bit of it only because I came across it and didn't realize that it was a Tennessean thing.
I got a quick thing. I really don't have too much information on it, but it's known as a Tennessee mountain cake, and so the versions generally vary. But essentially, it's made from layers of cake shaped from dough rather than from batter.
Oh, that I did not know.
I didn't either. And then it's baked without a cake pan. So as a result, what winds up happening is that it produces like a dry, brittle layer, almost like that of a cookie. And yeah. And then it's stacked with a layer of apples generally in between. Yes. And then this part I didn't understand, but again, I'm not the one who came up with it. It's then wrapped in plastic wrap and put in the refrigerator overnight so that the juices from the apples can seep into the cake.
Oh, kind of like an icebox cake.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
And then usually it's dressed up with a little bit of like powdered sugar at the end.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have a really good, interesting fact about layer cakes. I don't know if you came across this or not.
No.
But this...
Well, I say no. I don't know what you...
This used to be a tradition in weddings that it would be a layer cake for the wedding cake. But every guest, if you like the bride, would bring a layer. So depending on the popularity of the bride, the cake could have been,
Where is this from? Is this just
stacked with? Oh man, I wish I remember where I saw it. I read it when I passed over layer cakes because I saw it in this article. And yeah, so if you bring a layer for the bride for the cake, and some of them would stack up all the way 20, 30, 40 layers.
I mean, that's great, but at the same time, I feel like that's so sad because I would definitely be the one to be like, oh, look how small that cake is.
Right. And that's a poor way to do it too, because who's to say you're as good of a baker as I am and your cake's going to be nice and even?
Exactly. I also wouldn't want to. Exactly. I wouldn't want to have to go ahead and be like, oh, I know that Geraldine doesn't wash her hands when she comes out of the bathroom. I don't want her.
That's
layer.
got to be hers.
That's
you see it all lopsided,
hers.
missing a side.
Gross. Geraldine, your layer's gross. Are you familiar? Poor Geraldine. She's asking for it. Yeah, wash your hands.
You're right.
Have you heard of the Gugu Cluster?
Actually, yeah.
Have you really?
Yeah, I've had them, and not like.
You've had them also.
Maybe 15 years ago or so.
Do you remember what they're made of?
They're like nougaty, chocolate covered clusters. I think with almonds or walnuts.
Peanuts, actually.
Peanuts. Yeah, they're like a Snickers bar, but turned into a like a ball, essentially.
Yeah, a little bit like that. So the Gugu Cluster, it's actually known as the official candy of Nashville.
Oh, shit. Okay.
It was created in 1912 by the Standard Candy Company. And it's marshmallow nougat, caramel, roasted peanuts, and then it's covered in milk chocolate.
Mm-hmm.
And in fact, I didn't know this, it's considered to be the first combination candy bar.
Oh, really?
Because the fact is that it's not all chocolate. I guess
so Snickers ripped this idea from them.
That's 100% what it seems.
Yeah.
And a lot of their popularity grew because the fact is that they were sold at the Grand Ole Opry, which had obviously, I shouldn't say obviously, which had began like broadcasting their shows about 13 years later, in 1925, sold these candies over there. And they also happened to be like a longtime sponsor of the program. The name Gugu Cluster, and there was still not a further explanation beyond. It apparently refers to the sound a baby makes. And in the story of how it comes about, the slogan that was then used was so good, they'll ask for it from birth.
That's funny.
Which I appreciate very much.
So when I bought them, they came in a big tin.
Yeah.
And there were babies on the thing. You know what I was thinking? Wouldn't that be funny if as like a big FU to the American Candy Company?
Standard.
The Standard Candy Company. Snickers made and called it Snickers.
Snickers? What have we just unwrapped?
Candy conspiracy.
I made it. Candy conspiracy. Stay tuned for our next episode for our overthought.
Candy conspiracy.
Oh, that's good.
But actually, though.
Because it's the same thing, essentially. It just doesn't have
it's just in bar shape.
Without the marshmallow nougat.
It is nougat, though.
Oh, it is?
In Snickers, yeah. I don't know if it's marshmallow nougat, but it is nougat. Oh, it's definitely not marshmallow.
No, right? Because it's not like a Charleston Chew.
No. Yep. Yeah. It's slightly different. Ever so slightly. Roasted peanuts, caramel, chocolate covered. What did we just uncover?
I don't know, but I'm happy.
I'm into it.
And even if it's not the case, I want it to be because I like the idea of like, so boys, what should we name this new thing? Why don't we call it Snickers for those schmucks out there in Nashville? You're a genius.
Now I need to
Geraldine.
Now I need to read into this.
I do.
There will be reading.
We will be back.
That's great. Okay, well, my last thing, I'm taking us back to savory.
Okay.
Biscuits and Gravy.
Ooh.
That's a classic.
Classic.
And actually has an interesting story. So I'm going to transport you back to southern Appalachia.
I believe you mean Appalachia.
Oh, I'm sorry, Appalachia. Late 1800s.
Okay.
This is actually, many food historians place this food here. So roughly Tennessee, Georgia, the Carolinas, in this area. Lumber was one of the main industries in this area. This supports the idea that sausage gravy was also called sawmill gravy.
That's the way I've seen it.
I'd never heard that.
Oh, no.
No.
Okay, I've seen it on some like menus still written out as sawmill gravy.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So this was the ideal fuel for mill workers because it was cheap and it was calorie dense.
Right.
Pretty easy to make.
Right.
Biscuits back in this time, didn't know this, were much more sturdy than the delicate kind of flaky one that we're used to. And actually, it's because they were called beaten biscuits because they took well over an hour to make.
Oh.
Actually, it took over an hour to knead the dough.
Oh my God.
This was actually slave work. Like enslaved kitchen workers or domestic, servants would do this work.
Oh my God, that sounds terrible.
Yeah, it's awful. So like I said, sometimes took well over an hour. This free labor obviously was no more after, the ratification of the 13th Amendment.
Correct.
After this point, this work was deemed too burdensome.
Oh, that's how fucking ironic is that?
Right?
Wow.
And
okay.
And then shortly afterwards, a machine was made to help make the production of them. Actually, they came out much smoother, prettier, and they were more popular than before.
You know what? I think you just critical race theory our podcast real quick because that's exactly what that's what that story was.
Oops.
Well done.
Thank you.
Super progressive.
It's not what I'm here for, but
no, it's not. But I mean, it
sometimes happy accidents
turned out very well. Right? Good for you.
Yeah. So, I mean, biscuits and gravy, I've been having that since, my God, like 12.
I don't think I actually ate biscuits and gravy until much later in life. Yeah, Nick is a huge fan. Nick loves biscuits and gravy.
So when I was younger, I always loved like chicken fried steak.
Oh, I still don't.
I can't eat it anymore.
No, yeah.
No. I've since been completely turned off.
Good. I was going to say.
Like when I was younger, I used to get it all the time.
Really?
And then actually, not the first time that I had biscuits and gravy, but like homemade. I went to go visit Kevin in Kentucky. Yeah. And his mom made it. Last day, biscuits and sausage gravy.
Isn't that the term? And I don't know if you saw this. Isn't that the term? Oh no, I'm thinking of chip beef. Yeah, like chip beef. It's shit on a shingle.
That's a different kind of gravy.
But it is okay in the same like family, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
The last thing I've got, which kind of, well, I don't know if it plays entirely, but Bush's baked beans.
Oh, from Tennessee.
Yeah. Did you know that?
Oh, shoot. Yeah, I did, but I forgot.
I had no idea.
It was in the commercials.
I remembered the commercials.
Yeah, he said at the end, from Tennessee.
You see, that part I didn't remember.
Yeah.
No. So Bush's baked beans, again, it was from the Bush's Brothers Company has been around since 1908.
Oh, wow, for a long time.
Oh, yeah. So they're currently based out of Knoxville. And I could get into a whole big, background of them. Began canning in tomatoes and then peaches, and then later pork and beans, until about 1969. So 1969.
Nice.
Right? Nice. Well done.
Way to bring attention to it.
Thought you wanted to. You can't just ignore it.
Sorry.
So 1969, for some reason, turned out to be a tough year for the canning industry. And when I say for some reason, they do note that primarily was due to like overproduction and low prices. Yeah, for one reason or another.
They stay forever.
I guess so, yeah. So the family was actively discussing like strategies, like how we're going to be able to ride out this particular period. So the son of the chairman, and the chairman at the time was Claude. His son was Condon or Cordon. He had thought about offering a new product based on his mother's secret recipe for baked beans. So it turned out to be, successful it was. Sales went from about 10,000 cases in 1969 to over 100,000 in 1970.
Holy shoot.
And then it hit nearly 1 million in 1971.
Wow.
It became even more popular a couple of years later with the bicentennial, with profits increasing 173% in 1976 and then an additional 34% in 1977.
Wow.
At this point, the company produces roughly 80% of the baked beans consumed in the United States.
No.
Yep. Represents over $400 million in sales and over 55 million pounds of beans every single year.
That's insane.
It's insane.
That's the commercial with the dogs, right? With the dog?
Of course, with Duke.
That's a great commercial.
They noted that is like that so at the...
Put them over the top?
Well, and got to that statistic or got to that number of roughly 80% because at the time, for those of you guys that don't know, there was a period, it was the J. Jr., I believe is his name, J. Jr. Bush or J. Bush Jr. There we go. Yeah. He was in these commercials with Duke.
Yeah.
And so Duke actually, they had a golden retriever named Duke, who unfortunately just wasn't good on camera. So they got another dog. And the whole thing was that Duke was always trying to give away the family secret.
Yeah.
And Jay would, stop him from doing it and, roll that beautiful bean footage.
That's so funny, man.
At the time, and I didn't have this written down, but this is one of those things I'm just going to remember, I think, from now on. They had represented about 45% of the baked beans market. And it was with that campaign that brought them up and over to now owning, again, or representing roughly, again, 80%.
I can't even think of another company that makes Hormel.
Oh, and I was going to say Heinz.
Heinz, okay.
And I think realistically, they might be under the same Heinz and Hormel.
If I saw the three of them on a shelf, I would never buy Heinz or Hormel.
I don't think so either, no.
Nope.
Because I think it's one of those things where It's like a Q-tip. It's like, oh, it's
Kinda.
a cotton swab. It's like, no, it's a Q-tip. Let's stop this. You know,
You're right.
I got baked beans. Oh, you got bushes over there?
No.
I don't. I gotta tell you one thing. I genuinely do not like.
No.
I don't like baked beans.
I could see why. I can see why. I'm gonna tell you something that's gonna make you more sick. I used to put them on hot dogs.
Oh my! That's how my mom used to make them.
That's the best way to have them.
She would make them, and she would have them in a crock, like a proper.
Oh,
crock.
like crock potted them all together.
No. Like a stoneware crock is what she would go ahead and actually like serve them in with hot dogs, primarily in the winter when we would have like dirty water dogs.
Ooh,
and my father used to eat them like that. Oh God,
so good.
Oh God.
Another good hot dog topping: Valencia onions.
Oh, that
very
I like.
underrated.
That I like onions on mine.
Very underrated. You ever have the Valencia ones and like the red sauce?
Oh yeah, that I like. That I'll go for.
I get into those.
I can do that.
Yeah.
All right, good.
I feel like I need to have barbecue now.
I feel like I really want to like you saying that. I want a good hot dog.
I would be into that. Stay tuned for mustard and mayo on the lip next episode.
I'll get us some windmill if anything.
I've never had windmill.
Oh my God, let's wrap this up.
We'll catch you guys later.
Goodbye.
Stay tuned.
Oh yes, we got a whole bunch of stuff coming up.
Listen, it's really important.
Listen.
You ever see the hidden endings in the Marvel movies? Stay tuned.
I was gonna go ba 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 ba. All right. Goodbye.
Goodbye.